Hey sightseers, Sightseeing Sally here. Marty and I took a drive out and we are in the Mark Twain National Forest, another one of them national parks that you're probably not real familiar with, at least not compared to, say, Yosemite or Death Valley. Anywho, we are out checking out a place called Falling Springs, or Falling Spring, and it's one of them freshwater cold springs that just bubble up out of the bedrock, out of the ground, and it's down here in Missouri, southern Missouri, and there's some really cool old structures that have been left here in an arrested state of decay, which is why specifically we came here, other than the fact that there's a really cool waterfall besides. But hey, you know that's my deal. So we're gonna go check that out here momentarily. I'm doing just a quick pan so you can see the area around me, and if you look off in the distance, that's one of the old structures we're gonna go check out shortly. And then over here is an old wooden cabin. What we're looking at is the Thomas Brown cabin. It's one of 4 cabins that was originally built here. This one being built by a man named Thomas Brown. Go figure. Thomas and his wife Jane homesteaded here back in the 1800s, 1851 to be exact. They came here, moved here from Tennessee, which was their original homeland, and settled here because basically it had everything they needed with the water and the trees for the timber for building their log cabin. And why this log cabin is probably still standing in such good shape is because of the type of notching. It's called a half dovetail joint that they use to combine the logs in the cabin, and that helped shed water off when it rained, and so that's most likely why the wood has not deteriorated and it's still standing today. What's neat is you can walk right up in it, probably using the original steps going up into the cabin. And over time, plenty of people have come and left their signatures. We've got Ryan's baby girl here. Who else? Toronto, Canada was here July 2019. And Leon and Debbie. So I guess people want other people to know that they were here. But to me, it's just cool to see this building in such awesome condition. Granted, quite some large gaps there. I suppose back in the day they would have filled those in with some sort of chinking material, maybe mud or straw with mud, something to that effect. I don't recall. I know they said in that series written by Laura Ingalls Wilder, she said what they used, the materials they used for their cabins, and I don't remember, but I think that's what they used. But really cool that this is still standing. I mean, this is a really nice specimen, nice artifact from the 1800s. Especially in a state with so much humidity and moisture, you would think that this would have rotted away, but they must have used some sort of really hard wood, and yeah, that is some really solid wood. Not really sure what kind of wood they used, but obviously it's got to be some sort of hardwood, otherwise it would have rotted away if it was softwood. You can hear the waterfall in the background, and you know me, gotta check out them waterfalls. So before we go over to the waterfall, you gotta check out this view. Imagine this was your place back in the day, back in the 1800s, and you looked out on the land, and that is what you saw out there. Isn't that the coolest thing? And if you look up in the hills there, there's a couple of caves. Wow, that is just unbelievable. I wonder if you can get up in there, how easy it is to get up in there. We'll have to go over there and check that out. This is the view looking out the other window. Obviously now they've added this walkway in, but back in the day would have been just that pond out there. Beautiful. And then of course you got the old sawmill there, or with the water wheel. We're gonna go check that out now. From this vantage point, you can't even tell that this place has been developed, and it looks just like it did probably back in the day. It's just amazing. What'd you see?
Looks like a real long skinny worm.
Well, while Marty's sitting there looking for the worm that's swimming in the water there, we're gonna go check out the Falling Spring Mill. There's a placard here that talks about the type of mill it was and when it was built. According to the placard, it was built sometime between 1927 and 1929, and they used it for sawing out shingles, wood, firewood, generating electricity on site, grinding corn, a bunch of different things. Well, there's the old water wheel. As you can see, it's made out of metal. As the placard said, the original was made out of wood. But at some point they must have replaced it with this metal one. From what I've been reading on this area, it seems like there are quite a few old mills still in existence today, still preserved. So that is just really cool that you have this down in this southern part of Missouri. And we can even walk inside, which is cool. You can see the old, what do they call them, pieces? Huh? I'm gonna have Marty come over here and explain it because, you know, he's Mr. Mechanical and I'm definitely not mechanical.
Looks like at one time they had a trough that spun this water wheel to turn its gears, and they had a big leather belt on here going outside to a saw. Or maybe something back here, but got a hole in the wall, and I'm assuming it was supposed to go outside to a saw
Or the grinder, because they were grinding corn.
yeah, corn grinder, yeah. They powered a lot of stuff at windmills. I mean, water wheels.
Yeah,
and windmills.
Yeah, and windmills. Those metal things are called gears.
Big gears.
I couldn't remember what they were called.
Big.
Yeah. And you're how tall?
6'1".
Yeah, Marty is like 6'1", and you just seen how tall that is in comparison with him. There is a second story, but since there's no steps and no safe way to get up there, I'm just gonna sneak the camera up real quick and see if there's anything we can see. Well, onto the waterfall. It's back here behind the old mill. Comes right out of the side of the cliff here. Oh wow. You gotta see this. This is so awesome. Look at that. And it comes just right out of the hill. Right out. Wow. Fabulous. So I've been told that the water is cold, but I gotta check it out myself. Oh, it's not nearly as cold as I thought it would be. Yeah, not that bad. I bet you that would be a really cool place to hang out on a hot summer's day. Wow, beautiful. Alright, well, let's go see if we can check out them caves. see if there's anything interesting to see over there. I thought that'd be kind of neat to check out as well, considering you can only sit and stare at a waterfall for so long before you're all getting bored. Unlike me, who I could sit here all day, which is why I brought my camera, hoping to take some cool pictures of it. We got to take a little bit of a hike through the woods here just to get over, but apparently we're not going to be able to get up close to the caves because look, it's way up there. So I didn't bring any rock climbing gear. Did you, Marty?
Nope. I got enough problems walking.
Yeah, we didn't bring any rock climbing gear, and not sure if you caught that, but Marty said he has enough problems walking, so no rock climbing for us today. It was cool.
This one up here looks like it's perfectly round, like they was man-made board in there. Maybe they wanted to put a mill next to this mill, have two of them.
Maybe.
It just didn't produce water.
Well, those little caves were nothing compared to what we found over here. This is a big one. Fortunately, we can't get up in there really to look. But that's probably a good thing. I'm sure there are bats that live in there. And I know down here in Missouri, they've been closing off a lot of the caves because the bats have been contracting a disease that, what is that, a white fungus? Is that what that's called, Marty? That bat disease that they're dying from?
By us they are closing them off, but I think that's pretty much going on in a lot of places.
Yeah, but is that...
Something with a fungus on their nose or something, and then they can't breathe and they die or something like that. Or
yeah.
It's in their lungs.
I'm pretty sure it has to do with something with a white fungus that gets tracked in by people going into the caves, and then the bats get sick and die from it, and it's really decimated a lot of the bat populations. And so I know up, as Marty said, up in our state and the UP, they've closed off a lot of the caves, and I'm pretty sure I was doing some reading down here as well. They've closed quite a few of the caves because of that very same disease. Look closely, there's some really cool little spider webs. And with the moisture, they look like, I don't know, really lacy decorations on the side of the top cliff. Better go catch up to Marty. I'm guessing he's ready to head out, because you know Marty. He's only patient for so long and then he wants to boogie. So I'm gonna go catch up to him and figure out where we're going next. I'm taking one last pan. I'm just in love with the scenery here. The colors are just amazing. It's just so beautiful. I know I keep saying that, but seriously, wow, it is just breathtaking here. And who would have thought? All because we picked some unknown or relatively unknown national park to visit, and this is what we found. Amazing. Well, Marty, what do you think?
Hit the highway.
You heard him, sightseers. It's time for us to hit the highway. Until next time, this is Sightseeing Sally. Special thanks goes out to all our fellow sightseers here on Patreon and PayPal. Without you, these videos wouldn't be possible. Yoo-hoo! Anybody home? Lucy? Lucy's not here. But Sightseeing Sally is.